Hi, today we are going to talk about a project that is very close to my heart, breathing curves. Our client Rhea wanted us to design a small cottage in her farm located in a village called Palim near Tiruvallur. The cottage is about 400 square feet in carpet area, and to simply put it, it basically has a multi-purpose room and a bathroom adjacent to it. What makes this design special is the multiple pockets that the space has within one central area. So as we enter the space, we have a circular area with a pantry in one corner, and adjacent to it at 3 feet height we have a bay area where Rhea can sit around with her friends. It can accommodate about 4 to 5 people. The other interesting space within this central area is the deck. There is a small mezzanine that has been created above the bathroom, which can be accessed through a very humble and elegant bamboo staircase, which juts out from the wall, cantilevering, and leads into the deck. On the right side is also the bathroom on the ground floor. So the whole space is visually open to everyone in this using the space, but it still has these niches that can act as a semi-private space, allowing one to zoom into themselves whenever they want, while also to be able to open up if they want, so they can communicate from the deck to the bay area or the circular central space. Another thing that I really love about this design is that the same language of the different levels and different pockets and niches transcends into these external spaces as well. As we enter again at the entrance staircase, it extends and touches bathroom area and acts as a small tinai in the entrance where a person can wait or just have a chat with their friends. And when one goes out of the back door of Rhea's house, on the right side is the sit-out space, which also has an overhanging roof, allowing Rhea to spend time with her friends and family members. The other space that I also really like is the space above the bay window area, which is at about 10 feet height and is accessible from the outside with a simple ladder. This basically acts as a balcony, and with the roof overhang extending all the way up to that, the space can be used to just have a beautiful sunrise or a sunset and even enjoy the rain. One thing that Rhea was really particular about was to not cut any of the trees in her farm during the construction process. So basically her farm is a 2-acre land, and she already has a kitchen and a caretaker's room that is built, and she also has one of her old farmhouses in the north end of the farm. For this project, we selected a spot surrounded by trees in the southwest corner of the farm. The design process started by understanding the different materials available on site and also studying the traditional types of architecture existing in the village. After extensive research and multiple rounds of soil testing, we decided to design a cob monolithic structure with brick masonry supporting in certain areas. Rhea's farm has red soil with a lot of tiny stone particles in the soil. They also have larger stone pieces of about 9 inches, varying up to 2 meters or 3 meters in length. So we were able to use these stones for the foundation of this project. They are pebble-like stones which have been formed through the years, and we use them for the foundation with lime as a binding agent. For the plinth, We were able to use white basalt stones, which were also sourced locally from the neighboring village. As we move up, for the construction of the wall, we used cobbing and brick masonry as the main techniques. Cobbing is a traditional technique that is in fact used even in the Sendra and Palayam village, with a slight variation in the way that they use it. So how we use cobbing for this construction is basically to mix soil, straw and water. The soil needs to be in the right proportions, and if it is not, then we kind of mix different soils together to attain the right proportion. And once these three are mixed by intensive stamping, it comes to a consistency so it feels like a whole. And when this is achieved, then the whole cob is broken down into smaller cob balls to make it simpler for the construction process. These balls are then tapped into the wall line to form the walls. We mostly used the local workforce for the entire construction process for this project, and it was really interesting for us to teach these techniques to them and watch them curiously learn and apply these techniques. The roof spans in a hexagonal pattern that covers the inner space but also creates a lot of pockets outside the walls, which acts as semi-open spaces. The central ridge of the house is a hollow steel member, and all the rafters that spans from it are made out of old seasoned wood, with bamboo columns that are placed outside the house. These 4 bamboo columns holds the entire hexagonal roof structure. All the wood that is used in this project are reused and reclaimed wood, be it in the windows or the doors, the rafters, all the spaces. Apart from being a more sustainable option, it is also very beautiful and carries this story with it. But more importantly, it ensures the durability of the structure, especially for a natural building, because it is well seasoned. Working with wood and bamboo for the roof structure was a very interesting process. These bamboo columns that were created on the external facade of Rhea's house really completed the 3-dimensional form. What makes it beautiful is the fact that each of those bamboo members are present for a structural purpose and not just placed for the reason of the facade. And the structural aspect of the bamboo automatically gives beauty and uplift the entire house. For the finishes of the wall, we used lime plaster in most of the areas with mud plaster in some of the spaces. We tried to use the local soils for most of the plasters with a little bit of sand mixed in certain spaces. The lime plaster in the bathroom is particularly special as it has a tadalact finish, which is a Moroccan traditional style of lime plaster, which is more water resistant and is used in bath areas.
If you touch it, you will see the difference between this and this. This is a very experienced artisan came into the picture to get this done. It's waterproof, and it's usually done in bathrooms. So they would have the entire wall and the floor and everything, like, you know, the bathtub kind of a house. They would just plaster it completely with this.
One of the other structural aspects that I really love about this house is the bamboo concrete. For the deck flooring and the bay windows roof, we had to create concrete slabs, and these concrete slabs were reinforced with bamboo.
Put it tight and start.
I think the first thing is for me to know why exactly you. I don't think we really spoke about it as much, but to know why you really wanted a natural building. Like, how did that?
So like I told you, right, I went to a school where we had like a lot of natural buildings, and it was also like located in like a valley, so it had like a lot of greenery around it. And I noticed, like, it was in a very hot place in Andhra. I noticed that in the summer inside the building it would be very cool, and in the winter somehow it would still be insulated. I think that was the main goal with which I wanted a construction like that, honestly. And I realized that natural constructions with mud tend to give that sort of an environment inside the house. And also I didn't want to leave this behind. Like, I understand at some point this is not going to be usable, so I just wanted to kind of like integrate with the land once its use, the friendliness for humans is done. Because I know, like, for example, my grandfather's building and stuff, it's probably just going to be like a lot of construction waste if I do break it down. So I didn't want that for this house.
How has this experience been for you since the construction started? And
Honestly, I feel like you should answer that question because you were like on site like every day.
absolutely, but like for you as a home, like, I mean, do you feel like, what are you taking like from the process as the owner of the space? Like, I mean, there was a lot that happened in the farm, and like, you know, like, what do you think goes behind, like, I mean, if you have to say something to those who want to construct as well, what is it that you would?
Just like be prepared to spend at least a year more than you expected to spend, and also more money. But no, I think like as the house kind of like started, like the walls started coming up, I also realized that it's a lot bigger than what you expect to see, like when you see it on paper. Like 11 feet or whatever, you don't really visualize it, you know, like only when you see it do you realize, okay, my money is like actually going into something.
Yeah.
So, but in the initial stages, like, you know, when you're doing the foundation and all, it can be a little frustrating because you're like, why is it so expensive? But once it's kind of all come together, it's a very satisfying feeling.
Are there any materials that you felt like more connected to, like through the process? Is there something that you feel?
I really like kadapa, and I'm glad that we've used like a lot of kadapa in the house. I really like brick also, brick, kadapa, wood. These are all materials that I was not familiar with bamboo as like a construction material before this. I didn't know that it could be used, you know, as like support, but it's come out like really well. I like the way it looks, and I like that we've used like various materials and it's not just one thing. Like any part of the house that you look at, you can see at least like 4 different things. So that's nice. And stone, I love stone. I think I mentioned also that I wanted to use like a lot of the naturally available stone.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad that we've limited the use of cement. And yeah.
So which is the favorite part of the home for you?
The bay window. The bay window is what yeah.
In fact, it was not even part of the
It was
initial
not,
design.
yeah, it was not part of the initial design, yeah.
So what really, like, because it was not something that you wanted initially.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. So the thing is, like, I wanted the house to be very connected with the outside, like the farm basically, which is why even initially when I called you and said, can we just like break a wall of my grandfather's house and put like glass, that would have also worked for me. So I feel like with the initial design we did have like a lot of windows, but no real space where you are still inside but feel like you're interacting with the outside, which is what the deck and the bay window are for me right now. Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to you start using this space and then let me know
Yeah,
how you feel.
definitely. I'll probably
after
keep calling you for shit.
If the bottom is the part where the sun is, coming in.
You take the center lines.
Correct.
Then